In huge news, Eliza Bleu admits that she lied about suing us. She lied about suing anyone, in fact, which means that the Twitter Trust and Safety not only lied about the reasons that they were banning people, the reasons that they were removing links and more, but they also doubled down on this narrative, saying it again and again, seemingly believing that you and I, we would never know the truth about what was going on. Eliza also gave away her connections to Twitter, meaning that she hasn't just been connected to new Twitter administration, but old Twitter administration, Jack Dorsey as well. And the best part is that it came out in a puff piece, making me wonder if a real reporter went in, one that hadn't already decided who the enemy was, you or I. Yeah, where would this stuff go? You and I, we're going to talk about this today too. Oh man, this is fun times. This is fun times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day. By the way, I hope you are doing excellently. So imagine my surprise when I saw that Eliza Bleu accidentally gave away the fact that she's not suing anyone. And she did this with a puff piece writer, one that wrote a hit piece on you and I, but a puff piece on Eliza Bleu. And you could tell that was what it was going to be when she was putting up things like this. Quote, "You have my permission to write a hit piece on me if that's where the evidence leads, Shane Cashman." Hey, you got permission to be a journalist. Awesome. Now, Cashman gave all of this away despite his best attempts not to do so. I mean, in fact, he attacked people like myself, yourself as well, if you've been asking questions, calling people a quote-unquote gang of leeches that suck at the skin of a machine they can't comprehend the full scope of because they're lost in their own narcissism. Despite that, though, Shane, he had to ask questions that a real journalist would have actually followed up on. But Eliza Bleu, even with surface questions, she gives away her own litigation lies. I mean, listen to this. She gives it away so well. I would have taken this to task big time. Quote, "I guess the video that started the fire on Twitter happens around this time too, correct?" You have Shane Goodman ask, and Eliza Bleu answers. I mean, really drink this in. "So I don't quite know yet how the whole situation is going to pan out, but I'll say this, my legal team knows every single thing about my story." So it sounds like at first that you have a legal team involved in this legal team, you're going to have people getting sued and more, but that's not actually the truth. Continuing here, every single thing. World Star made a decision to take the video down. Google and YouTube made the decision to take the video down. They're going to continue to keep taking the video down to the best of their ability. And Twitter decided to take the video down to the best of their ability. My legal team made it clear to these legal teams that they have proof that was convincing enough without a lawsuit for them to pull the video down. I think that speaks for itself. Now, what's interesting is she also tries to do damage control for Twitter and their actions here too, just like Twitter did damage control for her. She was asked, quote, "What would you say to the people who were suspended from Twitter when they say they only shared screenshots from a public video? A YouTube video that had been up 6 long years was up when the suspension started, stayed up for days." She says, well, it's not public anymore. She was asked, right, but before all of this, it was public. Well, in that context, I could understand how someone would be confused. I would have appreciated if they would have asked me privately. I understand that maybe they thought it was public. It's not anymore. So that thing that people were sharing links to that was indeed public? Well, you should have asked for clarification of what public means. She would have set you straight, and it's not public anymore. Yeah, she filed a privacy complaint, by the way, to get that hit, just like she did against so many other people. Now, this flies in the face of what Twitter Trust and Safety said, because not only do they tell you that they were taking things down about litigation, but they wouldn't do this if this stuff was improperly filed. I mean, listen, I'm going to give you some high points here. So in the past 2 weeks, we've suspended multiple accounts and restricted content, causing confusion for users. They say we can't get into the specifics about that. Why? Because of legal issues. These issues are complex, often resolved in court. We don't determine who in a legal criminal case is ultimately right or wrong, but we will continue to ensure we protect users, comply with local laws, and remove content when required. And then they go on to tell you, we restrict accounts, content, when we receive a properly filed report that content was obtained illegally, that it violates the law or somebody's rights. These are often legal notices and court notices. Improperly filed reports are rejected. So there's no lawsuit. All you have is somebody trying to scrub the past, and Twitter's like, hey, that's good enough for us, at least when it involves our friends. Now remember, Twitter Trust and Safety doubled down on this narrative too, saying that people are going to get sued over this. There is indeed legal or a criminal case. They were asked, quote, can you tell us what's going on with this Eliza Bleu stuff? People, they're still locked out. Receipts have been shown. Someone else says, this is bad. People don't trust you. They don't trust you at all. And this was what Twitter had to say. Again, head of trust and safety. Understand, the challenge here is that we can't discuss the specifics of a legal or criminal case, no matter how curious people are or what assumptions are made about the reasons for our actions. So, not a case. No lawsuit required, but hey, at the same time, we brought it all down by telling you there is indeed this. I get the feeling, like I said, they never expected anything about this to ever be said publicly. But old Eliza Bleu, she's not very good at keeping her mouth shut when it comes to platform corruption. That's what this looks like. It looks like collusion to an insane level. And a real journalist might have taken the pieces that they themselves compiled and ignored. They flat out ignored this stuff. Like, hey, why is Twitter reacting like this to somebody that has a long-standing relationship, not just with new management, but with old management? Let me listen to this statement right here. I got my first meeting with Twitter corporate that Jack Dorsey set up. So they got a meeting with them. How did they do that? Well, I want to be very careful what I say right now because Jack and we were acquainted. Now she says, I never asked him for help. I was just scared, but I never asked him for anything. Yeah, that's the same narrative that we heard about the Rocket Man. I've never asked him personally for anything. We heard that about Twitter's safety, trust and safety too. I never had to ask them for anything either. Why? Because I'm suing people. Yeah, it's not real. None of that's real, which again, that brings you to a giant red flag question. That giant red flag question should be why. Now, maybe one day a real journalist might actually say, hey, I'm going to answer these questions regardless of permission to write the truth. That hasn't happened yet, though. We'll see. But anyway, let me know what you think. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. Make sure you share this everywhere, too. This stuff, it is fascinating. There is so much out there. But anyway, let me know what you think. Appreciate you. Check out the links in the description. Most of all, appreciate you. Thank you for being here. See ya.